From Nipmuc Regional High School in Upton, Massachusetts, Charter TV3 presents live coverage of Central Mass High School basketball. Tonight, it's a Dual Valley showdown as the Whitinsville Christian Crusaders visit the Nipmuc Warriors. It's Friday Night Hoops on Charter TV3. Hello, everyone. Welcome inside the barn. Kevin Shea alongside of Kevin Wells. And man, this is going to be a treat for high school basketball fans tonight. This Nipmuc team is gritty, it's a league game, and you get to see Justin Vanderbond, the latest, the greatest in Central Mass. 7 foot, he's already getting offers from Division I colleges. He's a special player.
There's no question about it. He's a very talented young man. He's got a long ways to go, but Whitinsville is talented far above and beyond him. They're a formidable opponent coming in here tonight at 9-3 against a team that's 3-9. But don't forget, being the home team, you certainly hold, serve, and the grittiness, the toughness. You're going to see Nipmuc dive on the ball, on the floor rather, for loose balls. It's just going to be a very aggressive type basketball game. Coach King, in his first year, is doing an outstanding job. We look forward to how well they do tonight.
And it's one of the great gyms in Central Mass here, the Old Barn tonight. It is Nipmuc and Whitinsville Christian. We're back with the opening tip-off right after this.
You know, yeah, you got my back against the wall.
I'm District Attorney Joe Early Jr., and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here's our message.
It's easy to bully, but the really strong help others. Just say no to bullying.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and communities. Join the Anti-Bully Crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia.
They are the greatest offender of the pink tax. You guys ever heard of the pink tax?
And they say on average, women pay an extra $1,351 every year just for being a woman.
Yeah, don't preach to me about women and better treatment of women when you are basically sticking it to women when they buy your products. You're listening to the Jim Polito Show, your safe space.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A teenager is rescued in Westboro Monday after falling through an icy pond.
A new federal program aims to help combat drug addiction.
Mass State Police bomb squad responding to reports of a live explosive device.
Significant snow is expected Saturday night into Sunday.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
Welcome back. We're ready for the playing of the national anthem. All right, welcome back, everyone. Here's your starting lineup for the Crusaders of Whitinsville Christian. Tyler Gorman, Justin Tully, Gabe Brookhouse. Brookhouse averages in double figures, as does Tully. Nathan Hare and Justin Vanderbond, the 7-footer in the center. And for the Warriors of Nipmuc, Lucas Better, Sam Hilton, Andrew Griswold. Jack Tempesta is the straw that stirs the drink for this group. He is their MVP, and Nate Gould, the center. This is the Nipmuc team, though, that is unselfish. They play well together. I saw them beat Oxford down at Oxford. It was a good win for the Warriors. They were very unselfish in that game. Whitinsville Christian wins the opening tap. Crusaders have it.
Nipmuc starts out in a 2-3.
And again, you mentioned it in the open, Kevin, but this Whitinsville Christian team is not just the 7-footer Vanderbond. They are a very good team, and they can stick it from the outside. First shot is off the mark, but this is a team that can flat out run. They can play a half-court game. They can play a lot of different styles.
Well, I think one of the things that Nipmuc's going to have to do is be patient with their offense, try to execute their offensive schemes, but most importantly, they're going to have to continue to slow the ball down. Good look at Vanderbond and how long he is. Great block there.
Yeah, and they just a little too tall, a little ahead of Nathan Hare as they tried to turn that into points off the break. But Vanderbond, very active defensively, and he has great feet. He really moves well. I saw him opening night against Uxbridge. Kevin, I saw him hit a three. I saw him put it to the floor, drive through the defense. I saw him put down an alley-oop. I saw him, he's a right-hander. I saw him hit a left-handed hook shot. So the arsenal that he has at his disposal is just incredible. And he clears another rebound there off the miss from Griswold.
Well, so we start with a block and a big rebound. They go into the big man.
Little inside-out game. And a three from Grossman.
Nice job. The zone collapses on Vanderbond inside the high post. He then kicks it back out for the easy three.
And now Nipmuc has to try to solve that defense a little bit as you contend with the big fella.
Whitinsville matches up man-to-man. You'll see their weak side really stays away from the basketball for the help.
Nathan Gould, yep.
Another block by Vanderbond.
And Nathan Gould got the offensive rebound blocked by Vanderbond.
You know, years ago, Kevin, this is probably the most local 7-footer that we've had going back to the Neil Fingleton days.
You're right.
You know, God rest his soul.
Yeah, a great guy, Fingleton, as you mentioned. But you're right, and it creates a buzz. It's fun. It's fun to be around. And you think of all the excitement when Neil was at Holy Name and then at Holy Cross, and you know the excitement here. You were talking to former Whitinsville Christian coach Badgema, whose son Brady is the coach right now, and he said Providence expected here tonight, and that's just every night. There's a host of Division I coaches that are expected.
Well, the key is you can't look the other way when there's a young man that tall in a gymnasium.
Justin Tully draws the foul, and Tully will shoot 2 for Whitinsville Christian.
Nice job defensively by Whitinsville. You know, again, that also is part of the trademark for Whitinsville Christian. They like to be gritty themselves. They like to be tough on the defensive end, and they are going to look to push it as frequently as they can.
Tully hits the first. Tully averaging 10 points a game. He's a senior. This is definitely a veteran crew, this Whitinsville Christian team. And Brady Badgema, a former standout player here, played for his dad, Jeff. And now coaching with longtime assistant Dave Dieters. Another one of the big men to come through Whitinsville Christian. Nipmuc, Grossman kicks it back out to Nathan Hare, or rather Tempesta.
Yep.
Tempesta with the jumper.
Yep, as you said, a real leader here for Nipmuc. Big shot for him. 5-3, turnover.
Bender, and it was Bender who had the assist on the last one. Lucas Bender who drove and dished, and then Bender gets the steal, and it's a 2-point game. Nipmuc can tie it or take the lead with a 3. Sam Hilton looking for some space, pulls up, off the iron, loose ball, batted around, collected there by Brookhouse.
Great hustle by Nipmuc going to the glass.
And great hustle by Gould down the other end to get in and get the steal. Hilton holds it up. Hilton up top and looking for some help. Bender being denied. Good defense.
Yep, man-to-man.
Tully. And backcourt. That's just good defense from Whitinsville Christian.
Our officials tonight are Dan Little and Kevin Murray working this classic Dual Valley matchup.
I do love this gym, though. It truly is a barn, too. The way that it's built, it's framed up and it's built like a barn. It's metal instead of wood, but one of the great gyms, even though it's a newer school.
Getting into a little architecture, I like that.
Yeah.
And it does have that absolute old school barn roof on it.
The Pilgrim era. Is that an era in the architectural era?
There you go.
You have the Greco-Roman architecture and the Pilgrim era, the early colonial era maybe. Whitinsville Christian, it is Tully. Knocked around, Tully collects. Bender, good defense on him.
I'll tell you right now, Nate Gould doing a great job on the glass and boxing out for Nipmuc, but he's got to get some help.
And Vanderbaugh underneath for his first 2 of the night.
Nice job. The ball goes inside. He does a step through and puts it up off the window and in. 7-3, Whitinsville.
And the folks at Whitinsville Christian say, too, that Vanderbaugh may have another 2 to 4 inches of growing in him. So he's a kid, he travels with the ball, but you see his feet, you see how well he moves and how fluid he is for a 7-footer. But I mean, you talk about a kid before he's done here, if he's 7'2", 7'4", wow.
Well, he's got one more year.
And he works hard in the weight room. Like, that was the first thing I noticed is he's got, he's muscular.
Well,
your kid,
he's
you're
definitely
junior
defined.
in high school. A junior in high school, if you're 6 feet, you can be a bouncing bag of bones, as I was.
Absolutely.
But if you're 7 feet, you expect him to be just a twig, and he's not. He's got some muscle on him.
No, he is very well defined, for sure. Turnaround jumper.
It's a description you and I have not had said about us for quite some time. We're very well defined. We hope that we're very well refined.
Refined.
We hope.
Point well taken.
2 old guys that are refined, not defined anymore. And with a big guy like this, Kevin, and you coached at so many different levels, the college level, the high school level, the AAU level, how do you try to switch things up a lot defensively? What do you do as Grossman hits his second 3 of the night? You front him? What do you do? What would you do?
Well, I mean, right now, they're playing a flat 2-3, but what they're doing is they're marking him up, a phrase they use in soccer, and they're making sure that they somebody's got a body on him, and they follow him in the lane. Here he is off the steal, takes it on the bounce. But as the game progresses, you get your game plan, you take a look at it. 100 years ago, I used to coach as an assistant with Jimmy Fridella at Shepherd Hill. Probably the epitome of the best man-to-man coach that I've seen on any level. And I remember they played Oakmont, I believe, had a 6'10", maybe Narragansett, had a 6'10" center, and the biggest kid that Shepherd Hill had was 6'1". And they won that ball game because he used multiple defenses. So you go from a box and one to a diamond and one to a straight man-to-man and just keep mixing it up.
And that one batted around. Last touch by Whitinsville Christian. It'll be Nipmuc ball. Nipmuc needs to hit a couple more shots, but defensively I would say it's a pretty good start. They've been hurt by 2 threes from Grossman, and they trail it by 7. Important for the Warriors to get some points maybe on this trip.
Well, Chris Bro is in the ball game. Gives him a 6'5", but he's only a sophomore, Bro. But he gives him, Nipmuc, some length inside as well.
Try to fight fire with fire. Kicks it out. Good ball movement. The shot is off the mark from John Verone.
Again, good man-to-man team defense by Whitinsville. Nice.
And would you say, like a pitcher in baseball where their fastball is the foundation, for any team you have to be able to play man-to-man, and then you can obviously do variations off of that with the zones and everything?
I just think that everything else comes easy. Easier, I should say.
Right. Like a football team in their run game. If you can do this, then everything else you can do.
Right. Right. You have to have your foundation. Your foundation, when you're playing a zone defense, when you're on the ball, it's a man-to-man defense. You can call it a 2-3, call it a 1-3-1, a 1-2-2, whatever have you. But when you're in a man-to-man on the ball, so that's certainly the foundation for all of these teams.
Here's another 3. Knocked down. Grossman's got 3 threes tonight. Largest lead of the ball game for Whitinsville Christian, a 10-point advantage. And Nipmuc wants a timeout. We'll take it alongside as Sean Grady's hometown tour continues.
Accidents involving distracted driving injured over 400,000 Americans last year. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car or motorcycle accident, before you call your insurance company, call the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia. Our attorneys have helped tens of thousands of clients receive millions of dollars in settlements for over 50 years. Don't stand alone against the big insurance companies. Call the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless you do.
Well, Kevin, here you take a look at it. You know, Gorman took the ball out of bounds, got it into Vanderbaan, and again, very unselfish. He steps inbounds. Gorman knocks down. That's his third trifecta. 13-3. He's got 9 of the 13 points. You know, so now you take a look at it. What are you going to do? You're going to go to triangle and 2 now? So we're going to try to stop Gorman, and then we're going to also try to play the post. I mean, it's a catch-22 situation. Nipmuc is up against it. They've got to start to score the ball a little bit here.
Now the Warriors, I mean, their league schedule is tough. The Dual Valley Conference is so tough with Hopedale, Sutton, and Whitinsville Christian. You have 3 powerhouses, and they've already played them. The shot in and out. Vanderbaan, the rebound, catches high, keeps it high. That's well coached.
Now out of that timeout, you know, Coach Badgerman comes back, and they go zone. Skyhook, nice job right there. Love to see that shot, Kevin.
That's indefensible. As a 7-footer, no one can defend that.
No, not at all.
Now Bro kicks it out. It's stolen. Good defense from Tully.
Turnover. Bro left his feet.
Here's Grossman with another 3. He's already got 3. Make it 4. The Texas hat trick for Tyler Grossman, who's got 12 points. And the Crusaders have a 15-point advantage.
Well, again, Whitinsville stays zone this time. They're in a 2-3 as well. Nice ball movement by Nipmuc.
And Hilton's shot off the mark. 30 seconds to play in the first quarter. There's a difference of about 7 seconds between the shot clock and the game clock. They go inside. Vanderbaan kicks it outside. And a loose ball stolen by Nipmuc with 14 to play in the first quarter. Kick to the corner, the 3 from Verone.
Well, that was a good look. They just can't get the ball to knock down.
Grossman at the buzzer, well defended by the Warriors of Nipmuc. First quarter in the books. At the end of 1, it is Whitinsville Christian 18 and Nipmuc 3.
I'm District Attorney Joe Early Jr., and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here's our message.
If you see someone getting bullied, stand up for them. You never know what a few words can do.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and communities. Join the Anti-Bully Crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia.
Well, Kevin, they're cueing the music, and they're not playing It's Raining Men, but I'll tell you what, it is raining 3s here, and it's raining Gorman 3s. Shooting the ball really well, forcing Nipmuc to extend on the outside. That means it's opening up a little bit on the inside. We saw Vanderbaan with the baby hook inside. It was a great move by him. Right now, Whitinsville is having their way. Look forward, Nipmuc, you know, they've done a nice job out of the zone, but they haven't extended, so they've protected the paint, which is really important. But now look for them offensively. I expect that they're going to try to drive the basketball now. Most of their shots, the vast majority, if not all of them, have come from the perimeter. So I expect the Warriors to start to take the ball to the rack.
They go inside, Whitinsville Christian to Vanderbaan. Vanderbaan's got 6 points.
Well, nice job dumping it inside. He caught it high, kept it high, and laid it up. Whitinsville Crusaders back into a 2-3. Nice movement.
3 from the corner. Gorman had 10 points in the first meeting between these two, and there's Vanderbaan with the left-handed hook, and he's a righty.
Right.
That's tough when you can do it from either side there.
Well, you had talked about that. You said that you saw him use the left hand, and certainly there you go. It shows you how ambidextrous he is, especially when it gets inside the paint.
Yeah, Tempesta draws the foul. Good job by Jack Tempesta to try to bull his way in.
Dribble drive to the basket.
My apologies to Tyler Gorman. The roster I had said Grossman on the one that they were handing out, so I was calling him Grossman. Then I quick search through the history books here, and it is indeed Gorman. Tyler Gorman, though, as we said, he had 10 points in the first meeting between these two schools. Whitinsville Christian won that one 61-48. High school basketball on Charter TV3 is brought to you by the law offices of Joseph J. Cariglia. The law offices of Joseph J. Cariglia, proud to support local sports on Charter TV3. Well, a homecoming for Sean Grady, we said that, an Upton kid, and Dan Cortez, one of our photographers here, Joe Cortez. Dan Cortez was the MTV guy. Joe Cortez, under here, a former standout football and baseball player here at Nipmuc. He was a Brian Bosworth. Had the headband going, had the neck roll going.
There's a good look. You know, Vanderbaan, tough to defend. You know, you try to body him, and he's just so long. Very, very difficult to defend.
The Nipmuc cheerleader.
Wasn't he? I'm sorry. Wasn't his nickname the Boz?
He was like the Boz in high school. He had the do-rag going. He had the neck roll going. Bull in his neck. He was a good player. He was a tough player. They had a good team. Good teams. We saw the Nipmuc cheerleaders, too, and they had the whole crowd dancing during that timeout. So good spirit here at Nipmuc High School.
Whitinsville comes back man-to-man. In the ball game, a sophomore for Whitinsville, Ben Johnson.
And a big rebound that time for Cade Brookhouse for Whitinsville Christian, who drew the foul. And the foul.
There's a little bit of full court pressure by Nipmuc. Looks like it's a 2-2-1. Back to a man, maybe. Nope, they're going to stay zone.
Well, doing what you said is, you know, trying to switch things up and trying to, you know, keep Whitinsville guessing. Three from the wing, no good. Run down by Hilton. Hilton looks to push. He does get it up, and nice job just to collect it there by Griswold. Griswold going up and in for two. If they can get Andrew Griswold going, things will certainly look up for the Warriors. He averages 11 a game.
Well, the 6'1 junior. Nipmuc looking to create tempo. Gorman with the one of the rare misses thus far this game.
Tempesta spins.
Well, and just again, looks like they're creating tempo, taking the ball to the basket. Nice job that time. They go back man-to-man.
And a timeout called for by Whitinsville Christian. And we'll take it alongside and be back with more. You are watching exclusive coverage of high school basketball on Charter TV3.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A teenager is rescued in Westboro Monday after falling through an icy pond.
A new federal program aims to help combat drug addiction.
Mass State Police bomb squad responding to reports of a live explosive device.
Significant snow is expected Saturday night into Sunday.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
All right, next Friday we will be at the rink. Holy Cross taking on Army, the Black Knights of Army West Point. NCAA Division I on college hockey. That'll be great. Always a treat to be up there at the Hart Center when you're on top of the ice, and very difficult for the cameras to follow it because you're so close. But always fun to watch some college hockey and be able to broadcast Division I college hockey.
And Holy Cross has done a great job of building their hockey program. They really have.
Certainly have. Paul Pearl and then David Berard. Here's a three from Gorman. Off the mark, and bodies hit the deck underneath, and the foul is away from
Seth Bassotti. Yeah. Bassotti, another one of the sophomores in the ball game. Good look at him right there, number 5.
Yeah, he picks up his first. It is just the team's second foul.
Whitinsville drops back into the zone this time down. So both teams mixing things up.
Whitinsville plays a good schedule as well. I was starting to talk a little bit about Nipmuc, and they do, just with their dual valley schedule. Let's see, body hits the deck. It was a good job by Gould trying to get a foul on the big man. You know, that was one of the things Cedric Maxwell used to do so well. Remember, Max would lean in and just kind of throw the ball. Oh, you know, to make a sound effect, and he would draw fouls a lot. But I don't think that's a bad strategy either, at least early on in the game, just to try to get a couple on the big guy if you can.
Nice rebound.
Oh, yeah.
Nice strong move. You know, again, here's what Nipmuc is looking to do. They're going to attack the iron. And, you know, I think it's a great philosophy here in the second quarter.
Gould is a strong player. He's battling under there. Like the way Nathan Gould plays.
Well, he's done a great job on the defensive glass already tonight.
Gould will have one more, the junior.
So Paul King, you know, we were having a very brief conversation before the game. I used to coach his younger sister, Renee King. She's an assistant over at Millbury. She played AAU for the South Central Sharks. And Queen Cupcakes, you know, she got out of high school and started a great entrepreneurship that she has going there.
Yeah, but, people know that. Everyone knows Queen's Cups.
So Paul was saying how, you know, how he and his brother are the ones that never get hurt. And by the way, just a shout out to their mom, Barbara, former teacher at BVT and coach of volleyball as she recovers, not walking around too well right now.
She had the BVT volleyball team as a power. They were a power when she coached them.
Oh, for probably 20 years.
Yeah.
You know, she built that program from the ground up. So there's some coaching DNA certainly in all of the kids.
Oh, certainly. And Paul played sports at Blackstone Valley Tech. And then just walks across the street here to do his coaching. He was at Worcester State as an assistant for the last 3 years. So he's at the collegiate level coaching, and said this was the, you know, one of the few jobs he really wanted to come back, get to come back to high school and have his own program. And this is one of the jobs. You're in your hometown and coaching right across the street from where you went to school. Good job on the inbounds play.
Missed opportunity that time by Whitinsville. Good defense by Nipmuc. Coming up on the 4-minute mark, 22-6.
This Nipmuc team opened the season at Dover Sherborne and then at Bellingham. Two tough games, two big schools. Then they had the border war with Valley Tech. They won that game. They lost the first two. Then they were at Whitinsville Christian, lost that first meeting between these two squads, 61-48. At Northbridge. Northbridge a real good team this year. At Holliston. At Blackstone Millville, they got a good big man. Bartlett, I saw the game here. They hosted Bartlett. They lost that one. I mean, it's a tough schedule. There are no nights off. Good ball movement.
Yep, absolutely.
Tempesta kicks it to the corner. Frazier's three is no good. Good job by the Indians to get it back. Bender in traffic, high off the window. Nice drive from Lucas Bender, and that gets the crowd into it.
Bender, only a sophomore. He threw the Havlicek up high off the glass.
Right. And there's another three from Gorman. Gorman has 5 threes tonight, 15 points already.
Just when you think you can start to get the engine going, Gorman's got to throw the cold water on it.
Of course, Nipmuc football team had another sensational season, won another Central Mass Super Bowl and made it all the way to the state championship at Gillette Stadium. A great run for the Warriors, and they have had a few years of really good football teams and championship teams. They're a fun program to cover.
Full court pressure here by Zone Trap.
Coach Hill doing a phenomenal job with the football team. It's easier to break the trap when you have a big guy and you can just throw it up for him.
No doubt about that.
You're in trouble, just heave it up.
Nice defense that time by the Warriors. Whitinsville back into the zone.
Here's Bender at the Havlicek 2 that you called. Griswold runs it down. Tempesta up top.
Sad thing is that most of our viewing audience, other than
you and I and our contemporaries certainly know it. The young kids, the young kids watching tonight are who's Havlicek. Tempesta tried to get off, couldn't get it off in time. Good defense.
Yeah, nice job by Whitinsville.
And one thing that really does stand out to you about this Whitinsville Christian team, and they have a lot of depth, a lot of scoring, but their defense is really good and really tough. And that comes straight down from the top. There's their coach, Brady Badgema. But that's a willingness to compete. You know, I mean, that's you have to have the desire to play defense.
You know, that's the one thing. There's no excuse for anyone. Nice job, great ball movement. They dump it inside.
Nathan Hare converts a 27-8 lead for Whitinsville Christian. But you know, certainly as a former coach and then a longtime commentator, you know, it's easier to just shoot, and you know, the shooting's what's going to get you headlines or get you on the highlights, but it's the defense that's going to win games, and coaches certainly recognize that, even though it may not get you in the paper or on TV.
Every basketball team in the world has a go-to, someone that is their leader, especially in the offensive end. Every team in the world has to have a defensive stopper. Who's going to stop that person? And it doesn't take tremendous offensive talent to be a great defensive player. There's two things we always talk about coaches can't teach: height and heart. And it takes heart to be a great defender.
Gould with an offensive rebound, swatted by Vanderbond.
You talk about heart. You know, Gould has been playing great the entire game.
And Gould hustled down to effect a shot. Tempesta comes down with a rebound. Hilton, Sam Hilton going to the floor with it.
Well, try to spin dribble and lost control of it, out of bounds. Whitinsville will get it back.
Whitinsville Christian, you look at some of their out-of-area opponents. They opened up taking on Pioneer Valley Christian. They beat them. They were at Swampscott. They took on at Essex Tech. They played Notre Dame of Fitchburg. So they've had a pretty good non-league slate as well. They lost to Hopedale. We talked about Hopedale, and that's a team, Kevin, that we'll probably see at the Clark tournament as you see the range and the touch of Vanderbond. With that Hopedale Blue Raiders squad, that's an impressive win. Hopedale beat Whitinsville Christian 53-41. They'll be one of the favorites entering the Clark tournament. There's Vanderbond. Done a really nice job tonight. Justin Vanderbond has 10 points tonight.
Well, you know, let's take a look at, you know, Vanderbond. Here's a 7-footer. What does he do? He catches the ball, he rips it through, turns triple threat. He brings it through, triple threat, then he knocks it down. You know, I mean, take a look. He squares up, does a great job, nice follow through, nothing but cord. You know, he certainly has, you know, a number of weapons on the offensive end, and then defensively, you know, when he puts his arms up, obviously, automatically alters shots. Never mind the fact that he's athletic enough to go out, to extend himself if someone's along the baseline, and does a great job from the weak side, coming over and timing block shots.
Whitinsville Christian has won 2 of their last 3 games. Their last game was a loss to St. Bernard's, a 2-point loss to the Saints. Couple big threes in the final minutes of that one from St. Bernard's, as Whitinsville Christian was up 7 in the 4th quarter.
You know, I was just watching the exchange here. Whitinsville fighting through the screens. I mean, they're just tough. You know, with Brady Badgema, it's kind of indicative of the type of player that he was.
Oh yeah, he was a very tough player. Good player, smart player, tough player. Wanted the ball in his hands in crunch time, in crucial situations.
Now, I think that you know, he was a very cerebral player, and I think that his kids, you know, think before they throw the ball. They want to make sure that they're executing.
Here's John Hilton, the firm of Hilton and Hilton, his brother Sam, not on the floor right now, but Sam's seen a lot of time in the first half.
Great move.
Good battle.
Nice job keeping it alive. I'll tell you, you got to like the stick-to-itness of Andrew Griswold.
Offensive rebound, and Nathan Hare will shoot a pair with 3.6 seconds to play.
Yeah, Tempesta, I think, picked that up. Here's the shot. It comes off the iron, kind of flat. Yeah, great position rebounding. Opportunity with 3.6 seconds to pick up 2 more.
Yeah, Tempesta picked up his second, so that one hurts for Nipmuc. You don't want one of your leaders getting one with 3.5 seconds to play, but it's a tribute to the great job on the offensive glass by Nathan Hare. And you love Brady Badgema. He called over his his three-point sniper, Tyler Gorman, had a couple words for him, but he had his arm around him. He was positive. He was pumping him up. So he's getting his point across to him, but in a positive way. Tempesta at the buzzer. Won't go. So we go to the half. Whitinsville Christian doing it with defense and hitting the long ball as well. The Crusaders lead it at the break, 29-8. We'll take a timeout, and Kevin Wells and I will be back with all of our halftime activities right after this.
Local sports have a unique way of bringing families together, bringing generations together, bringing neighbors together. In Central Mass, you have families that have been here for years, and you have grandparents that played at a certain high school, and they're watching their grandson or granddaughter play at their same high school. And there's something real special about that. Everyone comes out on a Friday night for football or to support the basketball team or the softball team, and everyone wants to support their team, and everyone feels whether or not they have a son or daughter playing, or even if they don't know anyone on the roster, they come out because they went to school there or they're from that town. And for us to be able to cover that is really unique, really special, and really gratifying.
We'll run into people all the time, whether they're home from college or they're visiting family and they don't live in the area anymore, or they'll say, hey, how's my team doing? How are these guys going to be this year? And so people remember where they came from. They remember their high schools. They remember their playing days. And
if you were from here, you know how unique and how special it is that you can get coverage of your high school and your college.
We have a bond with the community. They appreciate us. We appreciate them. To hear people cheer for you when you show up, because you're just there covering the game. We're not the game, but it's cool.
I've had people tell me that we brought high school sports to a whole new level in Central Mass because of the way we cover high school sports and cover them like they're professional athletes.
Join me on the Hank Stoltz Experience. People are always asking me, what is the experience? Well, that's the beauty of it. It's everything that has to do with Central Massachusetts. From the politics of the region to the great events that are going on each and every weekend or every night right here in Central Mass. You don't want to miss a single moment as I discuss exciting new topics with a variety of different guests on each show. The action never stops on the Hank Stoltz Experience, only on Charter TV 3.
Then you actually have to make the argument we need the border to be open so heroin addicts won't become desperate. Believe me, there are people who will buy that stupid argument. I mean, because I know how to think like these people. Look, if there was a way to do it and you could make money off of it, somebody would do it. These are the things CNN does. And yet, you know who's watching CNN? You're listening to the Jim Polito Show, your safe space.
People listen to us up in Gardner, Fitchburg, Leominster, Auburn, Millbury, Grafton, Sturbridge. We have Uxbridge. Again, this is not Worcester. We just don't talk about Worcester. We got selectmen on this show that want to talk about town meetings. We're a very great community. All of Worcester County, the people that I talk to each day, that listen to me each day, that watch me on Charter 193 each day. You want to talk to me? I'd love to talk to you.
All right, welcome back, everyone. 29-8 at the half. Whitinsville Christian is in front. Tyler Gorman, 5 threes, 15 points for Whitinsville Christian. Justin Vanderbaan has 10 points, and so that's the majority of the Crusaders scoring. 4 different players have scored for Nipmuc in the first half. What did you see, Kevin? What were you impressed by, and what would you do if you were either team coming out here in the second half?
Well, first and foremost, I was impressed by the defensive tenacity of Whitinsville Christian overall. I think their defense led to their offense. Obviously Gorman shot the lights out. He was probably 5 for 8 from three-point land, which is exceptional. And then you've got the big man inside. But do you have the big man inside? Not necessarily. Right. He hits a turnaround jump shot from the top of the key. He's got the baby hook right just outside the paint, baby hook left just inside the paint. So he's got a little bit of range. As far as if I were Nipmuc, I would do what they absolutely did in the second half. We talked about it, Kevin. First half, they went zone. They tried to belly up inside the paint, and then Gorman was really hurting him from the perimeter. Second quarter, they come out and they start to press. They start to put pressure on the ball. They start running their zone trap, and making things happen. So I look for that to continue. Nipmuc also extended full court and went into some zone traps. They're going to have to do that to create tempo. They have 8 points going into the second half. They've got to score the basketball more some way, somehow. So that's going to be important for them.
Defensively, and we've talked about this a lot in the first half, you and I, about how defense is the foundation for any team and any championship team. And, you have to be able to play man-to-man defense before you can do anything else. How impressed were you with Whitinsville Christian's defense?
Well, I talked about the tenacity. They did a great job of fighting through screens. If it was high, they would slide. So, obviously, Coach Badgerma has really done a great job, not only of preaching but teaching team defense. They extended out along the baselines. They shut the baselines off to turn everything to the middle. Why do you want to turn it to the middle? Because you've got Vanderbaan inside. So, okay, you're going to beat me off the bounce, but you got to go over a 7-footer extended who's probably an 11-footer.
Right.
You're right.
And
he gets off his feet. It's not like he's flat-footed. So, they've done a really, really nice job defensively, and they're just tough as nails.
They got a youth game going on here, and one of the kids just got his 5 seconds of fame running through the middle here. But one of the things that Paul King talked about is that he wants to build the youth program up in town, and that's how you're going to build a varsity program. You do it at the grassroots level with kids that are out here now that are second graders, third graders, fourth graders. So I'm sure as a basketball lifer, you enjoy seeing the young kids playing, and with Coach King's philosophy, I'm sure you would agree with it too, that you got to get out there and you got to know the kids and talk to the kids and get them excited to play basketball at a young age.
You need to make them a warrior from this age. We see a bunch of youngsters out here playing. They've got to be warriors, true and green in this case, rather than true and blue. But if you go back, this school has been very successful in basketball in the past. Jimmy Grant, one of the great high school and ambassadors of the game of basketball, did an outstanding job. So the taste has been here. It's about rebuilding. It's about reloading. It's about teaching priorities, And we were talking earlier about the fact that more high school kids need to play 3 sports. This playing one sport for 3 seasons because as a dad or as a grandpa, that's what you want. A more well-rounded athlete comes from someone that plays more than one sport.
And the parents see dollar signs or they see Division I scholarships, and you know how rare they are. It's just not going to happen. So let them enjoy all sports, let them learn to be competitors, and let them have fun. Whitinsville Christian up over Nipmuc at the half, 29-8. We're back with the second half right after this.
I'm District Attorney Joe Early Jr., and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here's our message.
Delete cyberbullying. Don't write it, don't forward it. Think twice what you type.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and communities. Join the Anti-Bully Crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Corriglia.
Thank you for tuning in on this cold Friday night for a very hot shooting Algonquin team.
Here's his range.
That's an NBA 3, nothing but net. They are shooting lights out. There's Redden with another 3. There's Redden for 3, that's his spot. Here's Redden, deep 3, nothing but net. What to do right now to try and stop Nick Redden? An army couldn't stop him.
Charter TV3 and UMass Memorial Healthcare have teamed up to bring you the latest news and trends in healthcare. Health Watch, presented by UMass Memorial Healthcare, brings you the healthcare topics that are important to you. From stroke prevention to allergies, skincare to sports injury prevention, and nutrition to pregnancy, Health Watch and UMass Memorial Healthcare informs you on the issues that affect you on a daily basis. Health Watch on Charter TV3. For extended interviews with UMass Memorial Healthcare experts, log on to our website.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A teenager is rescued in Westboro Monday after falling through an icy pond.
A new federal program aims to help combat drug addiction.
Mass State Police bomb squad responding to reports of a live explosive device.
Significant snow is expected Saturday night into Sunday.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
All right, folks, Nipmuc and Whitinsville Christian, and we've seen just a great show of heart and hustle from Nathan Gould from the Nipmuc Warriors. Just battling hard. Andrew Griswold, one of their leading scorers. And for Whitinsville Christian, we said it's the big guy, it's Tyler Gorman, but this is a true team. I mean, there's Justin Vanderbaan with 2 blocks. There's Vanderbaan inside. Gorman just dropping home some threes. This is a tough team to compete with and to cover.
They share the wealth very well.
And we're underway in the second half here. We're playing ready golf. Opening seconds here in the second half. 29-8. Whitinsville Christian with the lead. Here's Jack Tempesta, the off-balance runner.
Great look. Nice job getting into the seam there. Just couldn't get it to drop. Nipmuc man-to-man.
Good defense. Knocked out by Griswold.
Might have got away with a reach there.
Yep.
I will say that the officials are letting both teams play, you know, which is good. It's refreshing. Nice switch on the inbound.
Oh, beautiful play.
They ended up running the double. They ran a double on Vanderbaan, and there was a missed assignment. So, you know, that's the old drag play in football. You know, you shift everybody one way, and then you have somebody going the opposite.
Gabe Brookhouse finishing for Whitinsville Christian. Brookhouse with his first points in the ball game. He's averaging 14 tonight, second leading scorer for this Whitinsville Christian team. Griswold's shot no good. And the offensive rebound by Lucas Bender. Griswold cut off at the pass. Tempesta. And strip knocked away. Here comes Whitinsville Christian. Ahead of the pack, Gorman runs it down.
Oh, great hustle.
Thought he was going to come right up and over our table for a second there.
Oh, he really put the brakes on very quickly. Took it out to the corner.
That would be truly the WWE. Coming right onto the table, you know. There's Vanderbaan knocked away, and will remain Whitinsville Christian ball. You gotta love the way that Nathan Gould plays.
Gould.
And his classmates in the crowd there cheering on Gould.
Yeah, he's getting as physical as he can inside, but it's really difficult.
Gould with a rebound. Bender brings it up. Hilton. Sam Hilton. Tempesta. And he draws the foul. Foul's on Nathan Hare. Hare thought he had a traveling call.
I thought it was an excellent call by the official.
And it was before the shot. It's the first on Hare. First team foul on Whitinsville Christian in the second half. Hilton trying to go off the screen from Tempesta.
Yeah, see how he fought through that screen?
Oh, now they're calling it a little tighter.
Yeah, hand check.
That one goes on Justin Tully.
I think you're going to see that. If it impedes the progress to the basket, you're going to see that call more frequently. And that's part of the aggressiveness that Whitinsville certainly does.
Here's Hilton. Tell you, it's a great roadblock when you put it to the floor and all of a sudden Vanderbaan steps up. Says this road's closed.
Yeah, it certainly makes you think an awful lot.
Yeah, there's Tempesta. Good job to get it up and over the outstretched arms.
Yeah,
we had a defenseman in college on our lacrosse team, Chris Jelina, 6'5", 315, and he buried a kid once. He was on top of him. He said, this road's closed. Gel, it was the best. But we used to use that all the time. This road's closed. Oh, it's great.
Nice job by Gorman.
Fake. Kept alive. Tempesta has it. Hilton will bring it up. Hilton weaving his way through traffic. Hilton.
Nice
good dish. And Gould draws the foul. Beautiful job to use his body by Gould and draw the foul.
Well, again, takes it hard to the basket. They make Mr. Vanderbaan commit. Nice dish, and then they take it hard to the basket. It's when you bring that top hand, Kevin, over and you come down for the block. Straight up, you're going to be okay. Once you break that plane.
Now, they list that as the third on Vanderbaan. I didn't have him for three, but if that's official, And Vanderbaan has 3. That's big. That's a big foul. With 5:10 to play in the third quarter. And there's Nathan Gould.
Once again, full court pressure by Nipmuc.
Whitinsville Christian with the ball and the lead. Tully, drive and kick. Brookhouse back to Tully. Tully, the left-hander in the lane.
He was on a mission. He came through the lane to begin with, you know, just loaded for bear. And then when he had the opportunity to get it back off that pass, nice left-handed flip.
Tully's got 3 points, averages 10 a game. Down the other end, a nice turnaround.
Another great, just a great look again. They've had 3 of those that, you know, should have been dropped down. Just can't get it to roll in.
Now they're looking for Vanderbaan inside. Gould doing a nice job bodying him up. Vanderbaan sets the screen. Up top, Brookhouse the dish. High off the window, Tully, an offensive rebound. And Vanderbaan will go and shoot 2.
Well, nice job getting his hands on the ball, used his body to protect it, and then went back up strong.
The foul is on Nate Gould, his 3rd.
Oh, so that's a big foul on Gould.
Vanderbaan will have 1 more. He is a distant cousin of Alex Vanderbaan. Alex Vanderbaan, of course, great player at Whitinsville Christian, went on to play at Holy Cross. I saw Alex's dad earlier this season. I said, now how is Justin related to you? He said, he's a distant cousin, like a 4th cousin. But the Vanderbaan name, you know, at Whitinsville Christian lore, everyone knows it. They've had some good ones that have come through, both on the girls and boys side.
Turnover, Nipmuc. Good job again defensively by the Crusaders.
.350 to play in the third quarter. Crusaders with the ball. Elbow jumper. Won't go. Vanderbaan runs it down.
Yeah, great hustle to get there. That'll be a back court. But great hustle getting out there. And you know what? His arms are so long, he's able to have that extended reach and drag it in before it goes out of bounds.
Covering a lot of ground. Going into the Lions' den there with the student section, too, to grab that ball right where the student section are. Might get razzed a little bit. There's Bro. Bro keeps it alive and knocked out of bounds. It'll be Nipmuc ball. Let's see, the officials are going to confer on that. It is indeed now. It's going to be Whitinsville Christian ball with 3:18 to play.
Well, great hustle by both teams that time.
Yep.
And again, Chris Bro, 6'5" sophomore, did a nice job of getting himself into some open space for that shot. Oh, big steal there. Nice job defensively.
Gorman. We got a little LL Cool J playing underneath. Mama said knock you out, so a little soundtrack while the game's going on. I like it.
This is a great experience right now for is it Nate Gould?
Yeah, Gould 44 or
no,
Bro.
Sorry.
Bro is in there now.
It's Chris Bro.
Yeah, Chris Bro getting a lot of minutes, getting to play up against a much bigger opponent. Bro shows off the touch.
Gets 2 at the charity stripe. Takes advantage of that. Full court pressure. Looks like a 2-1-2 wheel they'll trap, or a 1-2-2. Tough to tell. Whitinsville doing a nice job of getting the ball into the front court.
Bro had 6 points in the first meeting between these two schools, and the leaner won't go. Tempesta clears the rebound. Jack will bring it up himself.
Whitinsville goes zone this trip down.
Nipmuc trying to figure it out.
Big skip pass.
Yep. You can do that, that's the way. Attack the seams, skip it if you can. And bouncing around, Vanderbond. Knocked out of bounds. Sean Hilton got a hand on it and knocked it away for the Warriors, but it will be Whitinsville Christian ball. And Vanderbond will put it in play with Bro guarding him. Tully swings it up top. They go inside to Vanderbond, and Vanderbond fouled.
Well, you know, great hustle that time by Bro, but he's got to use his footwork to wrap around and to get around Vanderbond, and I think that's what Coach King was telling him very quickly there.
First personal on Bro, let's see. Touched by Hilton, so it will remain Whitinsville Christian ball.
Good job defensively that time, clogging the middle. Nate Gould back in the ball game. He has 3 fouls.
See a kick. Defense by Nipmuc on the out-of-bounds play here, though. They're not giving Whitinsville Christian any breathing room. Fighting through the screens, the cross screens are going on. They're just battling through them. Tully, good touch.
Nice job getting into the seam. Timeout, Whitinsville.
And we'll take a timeout as well and be back with more from Nipmuc Regional High School right after this.
Accidents involving distracted driving injured over 400,000 Americans last year. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car or motorcycle accident, before you call your insurance company, call the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia. Our attorneys have helped tens of thousands of clients receive millions of dollars in settlements for over 50 years. Don't stand alone against the big insurance companies. Call the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia for a free consultation. We don't get paid unless you do.
All right, so we're back at Nipmuc Regional High School. We got Joe Cortez on a camera. We got Sean Grady as our producer-director. And I'm told that back in the day, those two on dirt bikes used to tear up some of the tracks around town here. And there was a big sand pit that used to be right here, and Sean Grady would be on the BMX bike. Then Cortez would be down here.
Now we're talking bicycles or motorcycles?
We're talking bicycles, the old BMX bicycles, but Cortez has, in his family tree, has a lot of racers too. I'm talking about car racers, legal car racing. But Cortez was known to do a few neutral slams in the parking lot, to the delight of his classmates. Lay down a little rubber.
Big steal.
Up ahead of the pack, Gorman. First field goal, a layup rather. 2-point field goal for Gorman all night. Sean Grady had the Leonard Skinnard tape always, the 8-track tape always in his car when he was driving through town.
Once again, there's not many kids that know what an 8-track is.
No, not at all. We had my freshman year of football, we had our own locker room, and we had an 8-track tape player, and that was it. We had the Cars' greatest hits. Every day we played the Cars' greatest hits before and after practice. It was awesome.
There we go.
Oh, there's Gorman back to his 3-point sniping ways. He's got 6 threes tonight and 20 points overall. Down the other end, the 3. No good from Trevor Byrne. The offensive rebound and put back by Gould.
Nate Gould, again, you know, he's a beast on the boards, a real tough kid. He's playing with 3 fouls. Nice offensive putback there.
Under a minute to play in the third quarter. 41-14. Whitinsville Christian in front. Gould's battling here, and nice runner. And Brookhouse just sealing the defender. Kevin, you talked about that position and using your butt kind of to seal him out.
Real too easy getting into the paint that time. You know, Gabe Brookhouse, the 6'2" senior.
Bro draws the foul. Let's see if it's on the floor or in the act of shooting. It was a good job by Chris Bro to try to sell it as a shooting foul.
So that'll be a possession foul.
It's the 5th team foul on Whitinsville Christian. Nipmuc has just 2 team fouls here in the second half. Nipmuc trying to go inside to Bro, knocked away.
Just out of his reach, so the defender was able to get a hand on it that time.
Brookhouse, long rebound. And Gould at the buzzer, no good. 3/4 in the books. Whitinsville Christian and Brady Badgema in front of Nipmuc, 43-14. Fourth quarter's coming your way next.
I'm District Attorney Joe Early Jr., and I'm proud to partner with Charter Communications with our pledge to help raise awareness that bullying should not be tolerated. From local school students, here's our message.
If you see someone getting bullied, stand up for them. You never know what a few words can do.
We need to foster safe environments for students in their schools and communities. Join the Anti-Bully Crusade. Take a stand to lend a hand. Don't be a bully.
Presented by the law offices of Joseph J. Coriglia.
All right, so here's Justin Vanderbond. And Kevin, you're at Putnam Science Academy, the #1 ranked team in the country in prep school basketball. So you've seen some talented players.
Well,
what impresses you about Vanderbond?
You know, he's got really good footwork once he gets the basketball. You know, he's got to get bigger. We've got a couple 7-footers, one 7'1" and one 7-foot. But he's a talented offensive player. He has great timing on the defensive end. And he's got really good footwork on both ends of the court. So he's got tremendous upside.
Whitinsville Christian distributing the ball, and it's Bro with a big squat.
Oh, there you go. Only a sophomore.
Yeah, look at, and the kids love it. Right to the delight of the crowd. Bro getting up and sending it back.
Yeah, this got a real cheer from the crowd right there. And again, he's only a sophomore, so his best basketball is certainly ahead of him. Big
and
bucket there.
John Verone with the 3.
5'8" senior Verone knocks it down. Tickles the twine, as my friend Mr. Foraker would say.
That's right, Verone, one of the captains of this Nipmuc team. Bob Foraker, the dean of the delegation here in Central Mass.
Turnover.
John Hilton pushes it up. Here's another 3 from Verone. High arcing rebound, offensive rebound, turnaround. Miss. Bro there for the offensive rebound.
Put back. Nice job by Bro getting his hands on the basketball and getting it up. Full court pressure back by Nipmuc.
Nipmuc looking to make a run. Trail at 43-19. Fourth quarter action. Kevin Shea alongside of Kevin Wells. Thanks for tuning in tonight for our Friday night game of the week.
Today's a pretty special day in my house, Kevin. I just want to give a shout out to my stepdaughter, Nicole Ross. She turns 25 today.
That's outstanding. Happy birthday, Nicole. I know there's some great plans. I'm not going to let any cats out of the bag, but some great plans to celebrate Nicole's birthday.
Big rebound once again by Nate Gould for Nipmuc.
And Corey McGreal with the finish for the Warriors. Whitinsville Christian wants a timeout. Nipmuc making a run here with 6:12 to play. And you take a look at the Nipmuc huddle.
Well, Nipmuc putting on a little press here in terms of scoring the basketball. A couple quick baskets. There's a good look at one of them. Nice job right from your living room. Nice job sharing the basketball. You know, so this is one of the, Kevin, one of the perplexing times of a game like this. Whitinsville clearly in command. You know, and we run into this year after year, and we talk about it. Like, when do you substitute? When do you not substitute? And I think all of us have been bitten by the snake of kindness. You know, I remember we were talking about it at the Algonquin-Westboro game. You know, and Coach Willer from Westboro was getting upset. But if you're going to take your press off and wave the flag, then other teams are going to start to substitute. But if you're going to still come at them, you know, there's no need to
starters.
Right, exactly, because you don't want to give a game away either.
Right. And I like that. I like your analogy there with the snake of kindness, because you're right. In this day and age in our society, you know, you don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. No one can get offended or, you know, what have you. And it's, yeah, oh, you're up by 10. You know, it used to be, if you get someone opponent down, you keep them down.
Right.
You know, or they'd say you step on their throat. I remember. But nowadays it's like,
great
okay,
pass.
well, you don't want anyone's feelings to be hurt. Well, there's also nothing wrong with getting your butt kicked every once in a while and then saying, all right, we got to go back to work. There's Joe Cortez right there on the camera. You can see Nipmuc legend.
Well, I think it's certainly, you know, after you get beat up, that's a great airborne pass, just a missed opportunity. But I think it's a lesson in humility sometimes when you get beat. And then you've got to go back to the drawing board, and everyone has to do a little bit of reflecting and look in that mirror.
Well, we got certainly tattooed enough during my high school career. And no one was taking it easy on us, and you know what? And we didn't ask them to take it easy on us.
Oh, they have an illegal screen, so that will give the ball back to the Warriors.
But that also sets you up for, you know, when you go out in the working day world, you have to compete. You have to compete for people for jobs. You want to be the best in your department, the best at your company, the best in your industry. It's a competition.
Well, and that's what, you know, there's different schools of thought about everybody gets a trophy.
Right. Crusaders with the ball in the lead. Vanderbond calling for it on the block, gets it. Steps back out. Gorman, who's got great range.
Nice high ball screen.
Oh, beautiful job to save that one by Brookhouse. It didn't hit the iron, so the shot clock still goes down. And another offensive rebound. Gorman taking it strong to the rim. Nothing doing. McGreel clears it for the Warriors.
Good defensive stop that time for Nipmuc.
Hilton kicks it to the wing. Verone up top. Off the screen from Bro. He lets it go from three-point range.
Oh.
Knocks it down, but it hit the top of the backboard, so it will be no good. Much to the chagrin.
Well, sometimes you just can't catch a break. Little shooter's touch that time.
Bro with the knock away.
Oh, nice job by Bro staying low and getting a hand on that off the bounce.
Here's Brookhouse for three. And here comes Verone back the other way. Verone stops on a dime. The crowd loves it. Turnaround jumper. No good, and Gould.
That'll be his
looking
fourth.
For the offensive rebound.
Well, you know, I've got to give it to the fans, the students of Nipmuc. They are standing by their boys.
And count the basket. Justin Tully with a chance for an old-fashioned three-point play. Tully's got 7 points tonight.
Corey McGreel picks up the foul there. You'll see him, 22 coming into your screen. It's very difficult when you swing your arm like that. Depending on the angle of the referee, it's just tough to see whether there was contact or not.
Here's Hilton, John Hilton, and to Bro, to Gould, and Vanderbond the rebound. Vanderbond in the paint, and he draws the foul. Nice job by Tully to drive and collapse the defense.
So Vanderbond takes it off the bounce, dishes it, low post short corner, continues inside, gets it back. But then when he goes up, Kevin, what he did, take a look at it. He leans in and he uses his left hand. So he protects the ball with his body and then uses his left hand. That's basketball IQ.
Yep.
That's something that they practice in the gym.
And he converts on the three-point play. Good drive to the hoop. Offensive rebound, a swat from Vanderbond.
Well, great job of staying with it that time. You know, again, McGreal, just a tough young man, just can't get it to fall.
There's Whitinsville Christian. Nice zip pass down low. Vanderbond converts.
And he goes back up with
Brookhouse.
his left hand.
And he's comfortable going with both hands.
Timeout, Nipmuc. Coaches will go to their benches. 2:53 remaining in the contest.
And we'll take a timeout as well and be back with more of our Friday night game of the week right after this.
Local news from Central Massachusetts for Central Massachusetts.
A teenager is rescued in Westboro Monday after falling through an icy pond.
A new federal program aims to help combat drug addiction.
Mass State Police bomb squad responding to reports of a live explosive device.
Significant snow is expected Saturday night into Sunday.
Reporters in the field. And an in-depth local forecast. Worcester News tonight on Charter TV3.
All right, we're back to the venerable, newish, oldish barn here in Upton. 22 years old this school is. Man, time flies. It makes me an older gentleman.
See, the advantage of having, you know, people working for us that have gone to high school here are the historical tidbits that just keep coming to us.
You're right. Sean Grady was a private school snob, so he did not go here. Cortez did go here, but Grady's a townie. He loves the town. It's his hometown, as the great country group Cross Canadian Ragweed once sang, you're always 17 in your hometown. You drive through your hometown, you're right back to being a high school kid again.
We talked about that as well. It's true. It doesn't matter how old you are. The kids that you grew up with and you see them, whether you're 60, 70, 50, 40, they're still kids.
You're
I
right.
remember that kid.
You're right.
So
Sean Grady was seeing a bunch of friends here, and his buddies have kids that are playing now, playing JVs.
Nice job getting to the basket that time. You know, again, Brookhouse takes it hard off the bounce, right through the lane. Just couldn't get it to go. He did grimace a little bit with some back pain.
Yeah, and hopefully it was that he got a forearm or an elbow in there, and it wasn't one of those landing wrong and something.
Yeah,
you know,
muscle pull.
Yeah, it jolts, because it's tough to deal with.
So Nate,
6'2", it's a you know, and that certainly can happen when you're tall.
Nate Gould goes to the sidelines for Nipmuc.
Gould follows out. A great effort from him tonight.
So A.J. Gorman, only a freshman, now in the ball game for Whitinsville.
Lucas Basile comes in for Nipmuc.
Senior Will Waters in the ball game for Whitinsville.
Both coaches going to the bench. Michael Quinn with the rebound. Warriors quickly getting it up court. The three is in and out. The rebound from Whitinsville Christian. Mazzotti.
Matt Frazier for Nipmuc. He's only a sophomore, promising future.
Mazzotti. And the three off the mark. I'm blanking on the name. Sean Grady will tell it to me. The kid from Nipmuc who went to Assumption College, he had Matt Brochu. He had the long hair like Mazzotti in high school, and man, was he something of a Central Mass legend. He played varsity basketball as a 7th grader. He may be the all-time leading scorer in Nipmuc history. He was awesome. I remember that. Then went on to play at Assumption College. And you mentioned Jim Grant, the general. What a great coaching run he had here at Nipmuc, and so many great Clark tournament memories with Coach Grant. And the Nipmuc Warriors and the Whitinsville Christian crowd loving Will Waters.
Oh, the senior. Yeah. In the scorebook.
We want to say hello to Len Craigsman, the former athletic director at Whitinsville Christian, still works at the school part-time, but Len is such a class act and such a good man. Matt Frazier with the two. Len, we certainly love seeing you and still love seeing you, and but miss you seeing you at all the games. He's great.
The infamous apple pies.
That's right.
You know,
That's
Lenny,
right.
you know, I had the pleasure of working and knowing him through Oxford High School, where he taught at one time before coming over here.
Oh, that's right.
Just a great, great guy. We used to talk about on the air his softball as a stellar softball player.
That's
Canadian.
right. And he was a hockey player too, right?
Yeah.
From Canada.
Oh, yeah.
Just a good person, you know, just one of those really good people. Andrew Griswold with the jumper for Nipmuc. And you're right, the legendary apple pies that they make at Whitinsville Christian and sell them right around Thanksgiving. Make them all by hand. Final seconds ticking away. Whitinsville Christian getting the win tonight, 54-25. Kevin, your thoughts on the game?
Well, you know, I think that they came out with a mission. They knew they were on the road. They knew they had to establish themselves early, and they certainly absolutely did. You know, Nipmuc, on the other hand, it was like there was somebody sitting on top of the rim knocking it away, and it wasn't Vanderbaan. They just couldn't get the basketball to drop. They did some really nice things. I hope they're able to build on that. You know, they go to 3-10, but they certainly, under the guidance of Coach King, have a lot to look forward to moving forward. They played hard. It's a building opportunity for them.
All right, so Whitinsville Christian with the win tonight, 54-25. Our next broadcast will come your way next Friday night, where we will be live from the Hart Center rink on the campus of Holy Cross. The Crusaders taking on the Black Knights of Army West Point. For our producer-director, Sean Grady, Kevin Wells, our executive producer, Dave Bolduck, I'm Kevin Shea saying thanks for watching, everyone. So long from Nipmuc Regional High School.